Welcome to the Existential Empath Podcast. My name is Tanya and I am an intuitive empath. My intention is to share valuable tips, tools, and techniques that I have learned so you can tap into your own inner healer naturally and intuitively. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya and I help people tap into their inner healer naturally and intuitively. In today's video, I thought that I would touch on 5 ways to physically detox the body. I have been doing regular lifestyle detoxes for many years, and I thought that I would share today some of the different types of things that you can use, that you can do to help detox your physical body. So, you know, we are being bombarded on a daily basis with toxins from the foods that we eat, to the water that we drink, to the air that we breathe. And there are many different ways to detox the body. And so I've kind of tried to come up with 5 different areas of focus that have kind of become a part of my daily routine that have really helped me have a healthier lifestyle, helped my body find balance and harmony within itself, as well as just making me feel better, you know, just having a much better well-being in my life. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So number 1, the water that we drink. So a lot of people are very unaware of how much crap is actually in our water supply. We're mostly aware of what is in tap water, but we aren't always aware as to what is in the bottled water and some of the other alternatives that we have to find good drinkable water, especially here in the United States. We have plenty of ways to get fresh water here, but some of the water that we have can be filled with like harmful contaminants and heavy metals and pesticides and stuff that just isn't so great for, you know, for us to be ingesting. So tap water is considered like that running water, the city water, the municipal water, whatever comes out of the tap. And studies kind of have shown that it can be filled with anything from chloride to fluoride, arsenic, aluminum, lead, mercury, barium, different types of hormones and nitrates can be added to that water supply, as well as pharmaceutical drugs and pesticides and a whole bunch of other toxic ingredients. So in the United States, we know, most of us know, that it's important to not drink out of the tap because we don't really know what's in that water supply. So fluoride is one of the minerals that I think I've done a lot of research on my own personal time to try to figure out how can I lower the amount of fluoride that's been put into my body. And fluoride is a mineral that naturally occurs here on Earth, and it is released from the rocks and the soil and the water and also the air. It kind of, you know, filters itself down into our water supply. So all of the water supplies that are, you know, on Earth usually have some amount of fluoride in them. In some countries, including the United States, they add additional fluoride to the water supply. And in Europe, there's only a few countries that actually do add fluoride to the water supply, like Ireland, Poland, Serbia, Spain, and UK. About 70% of the public water supplies in the United States are fluoridated, and many bottled water brands contain fluoride in them. So why is fluoride so bad for us? And first of all, anything in excess can be very harmful to the human body. And we all know that. It's all about balance to create harmony, you know, within the body. And so when we're adding excess fluoride into the water supply, it's not really monitored. So everyone, regardless of their age, their size, or their health condition, is getting the same amount of fluoride in their water, unless they're choosing to consciously choose different alternatives to water sources that don't contain that additional fluoride in them. And just like mercury, fluoride can accumulate in the body, and it actually has to be pulled out or chelated out of the body. So when we continue to ingest it, it just keeps building up and building up and building up. One of the things that it can do is it can accumulate in our body, in the tissues and the bones. It also calcifies what's called our pineal gland. Our pineal gland is like this small little pine cone shaped gland located in the center of our brain that connects us to our higher guidance system. And most of us were pretty much introduced to fluoride as kids. I know I was, and I'm in my early 40s, so I was kind of introduced to it when I was a child. At the dentist or even in school. I remember they would hand us these little cups and tell us to drink it, drink down your fluoride, and I'd go to the dentist and they'd put the fluoride, the mold, and you'd have to sit there with the fluoride in your mouth and you're like, like dripping down your face, and it just didn't taste very good. They tried to cover up with some, artificial cherry flavoring, and it was just really nasty. So that's kind of how I was introduced to fluoride, which many of you probably could relate to that. So, but studies have shown that there is no significant difference between people using fluoride and people not using fluoride when it comes to tooth decay. And I have never had a cavity in my life, and I have not used any sense of fluoride, whether it be in my water or fluoridated toothpaste, in I'd say probably at least 20 years. So I'm kind of an example that it does not matter that you have the fluoride, and I have, strong teeth and strong bones, and it's not really affecting me the way that studies have shown that in the past that fluoride is supposed to help with tooth decay. So that's something that, that I think is a common myth or misconception, especially amongst us here in the United States. So how do we remove the fluoride from the body? There's several different things that we can do to make a conscious decision on to not ingest more fluoride into our body. One of the ways that I do that is I choose to get reverse osmosis water. A reverse osmosis filtration system is the best kind of solution for removing that fluoride from drinking water. You just need to make sure that when you use RO water, it's pretty much clearing out all of those contaminants as well as minerals and nutrients. So you always want to make sure that you're adding those electrolytes back into that water. You can purchase a RO system at home, and there's many options out there. I personally have like the big 5-gallon jugs, and I go to my local health food store and they have an RO filtration system there. So I fill up my, I've got 2 of them, so I fill up my 10 gallons of water, and then I just add my electrolyte drops to my water supply. And one of the electrolyte drops that I like, it's called Light Balance, Lyte. They're made here specifically in Spokane, Washington, but they actually have them on Amazon, and I've got it listed on my site if you're interested in checking that out. Another way to eliminate or chelate or pull that fluoride out of your body is to consume more iodine. So iodine is an important element for metabolism of the cells, especially the thyroid gland. Okay, so many of you who may have some issues with your thyroid gland have probably heard of certain types of ways or supplements that you can add more iodine into your diet. So there's several different ways. You've got your Lugol's iodine, you've got your nascent iodine. One of the ones that I like is called detoxidine. There's iodoral, and there's a really natural way to do it is through seaweeds and through kelp. Most of us are very deficient in iodine. I think it was back in the 40s or 50s, I can't remember. They started to take iodine out of our food and add in I think it was bromide or bromine or something back into our food, and that was actually starting to deplete us a little bit. That's why they added the iodized salt to us. But really a better alternative to the iodized salt is pink salt or Himalayan sea salt. It actually has more than 80 nutrients and elements in it, and it's very nutritious salt alternative. So if you haven't heard of that type of salt, I would highly suggest that you research it and see if it's something that could benefit you. Some other good sources of natural iodine are, like I said, the seaweeds, cranberries, organic yogurt, potatoes, organic strawberries, and navy beans. So you can incorporate some of those whole foods into your diet if you're not, 100% excited about adding it as, like a supplement form. So those are some of the ways that you can do that through, through natural supplementation or whole foods. Another way you can do it is by consuming more boron. Okay, so boron is a natural element that helps flush fluoride from the body. And foods rich in boron include nuts and dates, and prunes, honey, broccoli, and bananas and avocados. So yum! Those are some good things that you can add more to your diet. You can even supplement with boron as well. I've got some boron capsules that I take occasionally. If I know that I'm incorporating the iodine into my diet, then I usually try to incorporate the boron because they will leach onto that fluoride and kind of, pull that out of my system, and I'll be able to eliminate that. Liver cleanses, sitting in a sauna, like an infrared sauna or a wet sauna or even a dry sauna, pulling those toxins out of the body and just really sweating that out. That's another good alternative. Eating more tamarind. Tamarind is like a root that you can add to teas or add to, your food to flavor it. That is a good source of eliminating the fluoride in your body. Also increasing your magnesium and calcium intake. Many of us are actually very deficient in magnesium. I did a video on magnesium and how some of us are very deficient, including myself. I didn't even really realize I was. A sign of being deficient in magnesium is muscle cramping and constipation. So check out my video on magnesium and some of the nutrients or supplements that you can take that can help you balance that out as well. Okay, so the second thing that we can do to physically detox our body is take a look at the food that we are eating, okay? So one of the best ways that we can get our body back into balance and harmony is to eat organically. And I know there's a lot of talk about buying organic. It's just too expensive. Farmers spray the fields next to the organic fields, so the pesticides get on the fields. And, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of different excuses as to why they don't purchase organic foods and why they don't ingest organic foods. But I will definitely say that I've been eating organic foods for probably 20 years now. And when I eat something that's not, I can definitely tell it. Specifically, not always fruits and veggies, but I can sometimes taste the pesticides on the fruits and veggies. But when it really comes to cheese, nut milks, those types of things, I can immediately tell whether or not it's organic because it just has a processed kind of chemical flavor to it. And I think our bodies, once you start to switch over, your body starts to get used to it. And anytime you introduce some sort of a foreign substance, you can immediately tell. And I can tell it in the taste, and then I kind of just feel a little yucky after I eat it. So for me, I know personally when I eat organic, it makes me feel good. It tastes better, especially here in the United States. I know when I've traveled overseas and I've had a tomato, and I was in Italy and I had gone to a restaurant and had a tomato, and I thought, oh my gosh, like this is what a tomato is really supposed to taste like. It was delicious and it had so much flavor to it. I've been living in Florida for the last 20 years and I had a tomato and it just didn't have any substance. And then moving out west to Washington State and going to the farmers markets and eating some of those heirloom tomatoes, oh my gosh, it just reminded me of being back in Italy where I was like, oh, this just tastes so good, So making sure that your food has flavor, like that is one thing that you'll notice a difference when you're not eating organically versus eating organically. The organic food just tastes richer and it's much more alive and it has so much more nutrients to it. So I would definitely, if you live in an area that has farmers markets, get out there and interact at your local farmers markets. Meet the farmers, meet the people who are growing this food, ask them, are you spraying your fields? What do you do to control bugs, on your produce? Get to know them and have a better understanding of what you're ingesting, right? So I think that's really, really important. And you want to just make sure that you learn, keep learning, because that's how you are going to know what your body needs. Okay. So the more that you learn what your body likes and doesn't like, that's the best way to keep moving forward. Your body's going to show you and tell you, it's either going to break out in a rash, or you may have some stomach upset, or maybe get a headache and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to eat that again. I know that was something that kind of bothered me. So I'm going to kind of stay away from that and maybe test something out. It's time to ditch those processed foods. Those processed foods have no nutrients in them whatsoever. They're man-made and they're made in a lab, so it's like, get out there and eat natural things from the earth that are healthy. And, they provide a natural way of detoxing the body. And a lot of those processed foods, they contain so many chemicals and monosodium glutamate and different preservatives and nitrates, and they're just not living foods. So I would definitely just, the first thing is that if you can't go 100% organic, then try to at least switch to fruits and veggies and more natural types of foods. And there is a list out there that you can Google. It's called the Dirty Dozen. So you don't have to do all your fruits and veggies organically. And unless you want to, then that's fantastic. But if you don't, there's certain fruits and veggies that are okay to do non-organically. Like some of the ones that have maybe a hard casing around them, like an orange, or say maybe an avocado, things that are more protected, you can probably get away with not doing organically. You can just wash the pesticides off of them. But there's ones like, peaches and strawberries, blueberries. When they spray them, that pesticide can really penetrate that fruit or that veggie. And not only, even if you wash them, they're still kind of inside that fruit and veggie. And I mean, the non-genetically modified is just a whole nother topic. So if you are choosing organic, you're not getting that genetically modified produce like you would if you're choosing a non-organic substance, So it really is, partial to you. I mean, I started out with just picking and choosing my organic stuff, and now I'm probably 90 to 95% organic, at least when I'm buying my produce. So take it slow. I think that's the best advice, is take it slow. It can be very overwhelming, and just read the labels. I think that's really important. Read the labels. What the heck is going in your body? If you can't understand it and you can't pronounce it, then it probably shouldn't be going into your body, because all it's going to do is get bogged up in your organs, and it's going to make it really difficult for you to lose weight, to feel good, to have energy. Just do what's best for you and take it slow. Take it one day at a time. Some other ways to detox with food is to eat whole plant-based foods like kale, different types of medicinal mushrooms. Those are fantastic, like lion's mane, reishi, chaga. Some of those mushrooms have amazing benefits, specifically for your brain and for your heart and your nervous system. I think, really get out there and research some of those medicinal mushrooms. They are fantastic. Cilantro. Cilantro is an herb that is a natural heavy metal chelator. So we are inundated all the time with heavy metals, whether it be in the pesticides on the food, it could be in the air. Vaccinations have mercury in them. There's different ways that we are getting these heavy metals into our body. Like I said, it's all about moderation. If we're getting an influx of these heavy metals, they have a tendency to want to burrow into the tissues, the soft tissues of our body. And our brain is full of soft tissues. So that's kind of where they start to penetrate to when it becomes really overloaded. And with those heavy metals, you have to physically pull them out like fluoride and chelate them out. So cilantro, chlorella, spirulina, activated charcoal. There's a lot of different things that you can research that will help chelate those heavy metals out of your body. So it's really pulling them out of those soft tissues, moving them to your digestive tract for you to excrete out of your body. Fermented foods are another thing. They offer a healthy probiotic and prebiotic. And those are foods like sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, kombucha. Those are things that offer those live cultures. Greek yogurt. There's a lot of different things that you can research that help bring those probiotics naturally into your body if you're one that doesn't want to supplement, with them. So I would also incorporate, if you're a meat eater and you find yourself eating a lot of meat during the week because you're trying to get that protein into your system, take a look at organic bone broth. Studies have shown that the chicken bone broths have helped people significantly with rheumatoid arthritis and joint pain flare-ups. And there's type 2 collagen and the type 1. The type 1, I believe, is the beef and the pork, and the type 2, I believe, is the chicken. Don't take my word for that. Look it up and Google it yourself. So definitely research that bone broth. It's really low in calories and really high in protein and nutrients and minerals. So it's a really great addition to add to your meal plan if you're someone who is trying to maybe wean off of meat. That's kind of what I did. I found myself, I was eating a lot of red meat many moons ago, and I started to wean myself off of it, and I used bone broth to help me do that. So it was really effective in that. And as a perk, I lost quite a few pounds, from that too. So it was good for me. Another way is to incorporate herbal teas like dandelion root, which is actually what I'm drinking right now. Milk thistle. Dandelion root and milk thistle are fantastic for cleansing the liver. Okay, those are really good herbs, really good teas to drink. Matcha green tea. Matcha green tea is a good one. It helps with focus and brain stimulation and cognitive function. And cacao. Cacao is like a chocolate. To me, it tastes like a bitter hot chocolate. And it is also a great alternative to coffee because it doesn't give you that, that kind of boost of energy and then that crash in the afternoon. Cacao really lifts your energy and it expands your awareness. A lot of people will do cacao ceremonies, bringing people together, and it helps expand their consciousness. People will drink it before they meditate, and it really helps enhance their meditation. Another alternative that I do on a regular basis is drinking warm lemon water. It's very refreshing, and it flushes out your kidneys and your liver before you start your day. And it also gives you a nice boost of vitamin C. So if you are looking at doing the lemon water, I would highly suggest buying organic lemon juice. If you look at lemon juice or lemon juice concentrate, it has a lot of different preservatives in it. So I would highly suggest that if you decide to go with the bottled lemon juice alternative, to really look at that to see what is in that lemon juice. Start to switch your food choices, and maybe from a more processed food diet to a more unprocessed food diet. You may start to experience some symptoms which are called the Herxheimer reaction. So the Herxheimer reaction occurs when bacteria and yeast are killed off during the detox or any other cleansing therapies. As the bacteria begins to die off, the body can kind of experience certain symptoms like fatigue, flu-like symptoms, headaches, nausea, any types of aches and pains throughout the body, because what's happening is an influx of the toxins are being pulled out of those muscles and tissues that have been kind of, stagnant in the body, and now they're starting to move through that bloodstream and down through the lymphatic system, and it's really starting to move itself down to the digestive system to be eliminated. The Herxheimer reaction could last anywhere between 2 days to maybe a week. It really just depends. It is helpful to drink a lot of water when you are going through a detox, because the more water you drink, the more it will flush some of this out. It's also extremely important to include fiber into your diet when you're doing a detox. And the more fiber you eat, the more water you need to drink, okay? So if you're not drinking enough water, that fiber is going to get stuck and it's going to cause you to not be able to eliminate that. And then what happens is those toxins are just kind of swimming around the body, and then they're getting stuck in your digestive system and they aren't being eliminated. So it's like you're defeating that purpose of the entire detox, right? So you want to make sure that when you start to switch over to this type of lifestyle, that you're drinking a lot of water and increasing your fiber intake. If you're eating lots of fruits and veggies, you're going to naturally have fiber. You can incorporate psyllium husks into your diet. Maybe if you're making smoothies or shakes, you can incorporate that into there. I would suggest buying that organically. That, I believe, on the Dirty Dozen, you want to make sure that you buy that organically. So all of these things, kind of incorporated together, are going to help you flush that out of your system. And like I said, it could be a little uneasy for a week or two while you're going through this process, because your body is really accustomed to having a lot of toxic, overload or buildup. And then now you're kind of flushing it out and your body is like, what is happening? So just be patient, with yourself. And if you're feeling kind of yucky, then just back off a little bit for a day or two and then start it back up again. Rome wasn't created in a day, right? So, you can take your time while you're transitioning over to this. And so all of these things that I'm talking about in this video, take your time with it. You don't have to go rush to the store tomorrow and completely transition all 5 of these areas that I'm talking about. This is something that I've done over the course of, 20 years. And I've kind of had to do trial and error myself, just, kind of trying to see what works best for my body and what doesn't work for my body. So, take what I'm saying and what you resonate with and go with it. And if you don't resonate, that's cool too. I'm just kind of offering some ideas and some things that I've utilized to help me get to a point of having some more balance and harmony, within my physical body. So the third thing that helps us to detox our physical body is the supplements that we take, right? So many of us are completely over supplementing, and I was an absolute culprit of this. I was like a supplement-aholic. I mean, any new supplement that came out, I wanted to try it. And my family would just pick on me because I was like, oh my gosh, I have this new supplement, but I would just buy them and thinking that they were helping my body, but I didn't really realize that I was over supplementing. I was taking too much of this and I needed to take this, and then I would get depleted in this, and then I had to up this. And I mean, it just got crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm spending all of this money on supplements and my body is going berserk. I'm gaining weight. I'm not feeling any better. I feel exhausted. And a lot of it was because my body just couldn't handle it. I was, at the time I was eating the best that I could, but I was thinking that these supplements were going to help me, get the nutrients and the minerals that I needed. But really what it came down to was that when I was eating the right foods, I was immediately getting the supplements because my body was becoming more bioavailable, and it was really, being able to penetrate more into my body so that I could absorb these minerals and these nutrients. But if we're strictly on that unprocessed food diet, when we're not getting the nutrients that we need, the body is not going to soak up these supplements like they should be. So personally, I've kind of backed off a lot of the supplements. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do take some of them, but I try to incorporate, these by getting these nutrients and minerals into my food supply. And if I can't, I like the idea of doing more powder-based products where I can put them in my smoothie, or I can drink them in a tea form, or I can just kind of, shake it on my food, however I, decide to utilize it. Because the supplements for me, I wasn't always keeping up with them, and then I would take too many, and it became really difficult for me to kind of balance that out. Well, several years ago, I learned the fine art of applied kinesiology or muscle testing. So now I actually just muscle test to see what it is that I need. So I'm not taking too much of any one supplement or mineral or vitamin. And wow, has that saved me a ton of money and I feel much more in balance. My metabolism is much stronger, and I started to lose weight, and everything just started to become a much happier version of me when I started to figure out what it really was that my body wanted, and I wasn't overloading it with a whole bunch of different types of supplements. So, you know, if you're vegan, there are certain things that you may want to look at supplementing: B vitamins, complex B12, and you know, certain things, maybe even calcium. But there are foods, plant-based foods, that you can eat that do have those vitamins and minerals in it. They may be a lot more limited, but they're still there. So if you don't like to supplement, then you can definitely find it in your food sources. You just may have to dig a little bit deeper and figure out what those food sources are. So yeah, so there's a lot of supplements out there too, you know, that you want to do your research on if you are supplementing. Some of them have a lot of fillers and a lot of things in it, like, you know, some of those ones that you buy over the counter at maybe a drugstore or one of those, you know, the big stores, have been known to be filled with sand and other types of things that aren't even healthy for the human body. So when you're looking at supplements, you definitely want to make sure that they're a reputable brand and that they have a history of having good quality supplements. There's a lot out there that are non-GMO. There's a lot out there that are organic, whole food, plant-based supplements. There's also some that you can use as a spray, which I love. I have a spray vitamin D and a spray vitamin B and a spray vitamin C. I really like the spray because for me, it's really quick. I can do it in the morning when I'm eating my breakfast, and then I can be on my way. Research your supplements, guys. And if you feel like you're over supplementing, then take a step back. Take a step back and see what types of foods that you can eat that may have those nutrients in them that you're trying to get from your supplementation. So what foods can act as supplements? One of my favorite ones is algae. Not a lot of people think about these, right? So chlorella and spirulina. Chlorella is a single-celled freshwater algae. Okay, it's available in a capsule, a tablet, or a powder. It's a really rich, dark green color, and it's about 50 to 60% protein, which I think is amazing. It includes B12, omega-3s, magnesium, zinc, folic acid, and it's chock full of antioxidants, okay? The amazing thing about chlorella is, like I said before, it actually removes heavy metals out of the body. It improves the gut health, as well as it can lower cholesterol and blood pressure too. So those are some amazing benefits. Another thing is bentonite clay. Bentonite clay is a clay which you can either ingest it or you can put it on your face as a mask. And just like chlorella, it kind of soaks up those toxins and those heavy metals, and it pushes it out through your digestive system. So you can do different types of detoxes with this bentonite clay. And you also want to make sure that you research that it's good, that it's an okay one to be ingested. I have a very clean, pure clay on my website that I've used for many, many years, and I just love it. I love when you put it on your face, it just tightens it up and it feels so good, and you can just feel the toxins coming out of your skin. It's just amazing. And then I like to do a nice bentonite clay detox. I will ingest it, and it's amazing. My dad started taking it. He's a contractor and worked with a lot of lead-based paints, and so I had told him about the bentonite clay, and within a week he was having a lot of tingling in his fingers and his toes, and within a week the tingling had gone away, and you could tell his face, he was kind of gray before, and then his face started to get much more brighter and had more color in it, and you could just really see a big difference when he started to do the bentonite clay. It also helps improve the acne and helps with any of the bowel issues that you may having. Another thing that is amazing is activated charcoal. That's like a fine, odorless black powder that aids in kidney health. It's been known to aid in kidney health, stomach issues, and it even helps whiten your teeth as well. So you can kind of utilize that like the bentonite clay to use as a detoxifying agent. Another thing that I love to use is called black seed oil, and it's they say that it's the cure for everything but death, and they use this over in India, and you can use it on your skin. I'm telling you guys, look this stuff up. Black seed oil, it's over 100 different things that it can help out with. And I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't taste good. I mean, I take it every day. I take I'd say a tablespoon of it with honey, because the honey kind of offsets the flavor, but it helps detox, and it helps, just clean up a lot of stuff in the body. So check it out. Another thing to look into is colloidal silver or colloidal gold. These are natural antibiotics. These are things that they've used for centuries to help cure a whole bunch of stuff. It flushes out viruses and different bacteria in the body, parasites, any of those foreign invaders. These are excellent to have on hand. So if you're starting to feel a little sick, it's nice to have some colloidal silver in your cupboard and just pull that out and utilize that. Maybe if you have a wound, you can pop it on there. It kills bacteria. And then, like I said, prebiotics and probiotics. So if you're not getting it in your food, then you want to make sure that you're taking a really good prebiotic or a probiotic. That's going to help get rid of that, as you're doing this colloidal silver or the black seed, you're flushing out those bad, harmful bacteria. You need to reintroduce the good, positive bacteria or flora back into your gut. And that's where those prebiotics and probiotics are going to do that. Okay. So number 4, the fourth thing that we want to take a look at when we're trying to physically detox our body is the beauty products that we use. Okay, ladies, this isn't just you. This is men too. I've got a couple of friends who probably use more beauty products, men, than the women do. So we want to make sure that we're, being consciously aware of what we're putting on our skin. Our skin is the largest organ in our body, and what we put on it absorbs into our body, right? So many beauty products and lotions can contain harmful chemicals that act as endocrine disruptors. They can cause toxic buildup in the body. They can, cause aches and pains in our muscles and our tissues, and we don't even really think about that. Many of the beauty products have lots and lots and lots of chemicals in them, and if you're using several different beauty products from our shampoos to our lotions to our makeup, and you're putting that on your skin, that's going into your body. That's being soaked into your body. And then your poor little kidneys and your liver are like, what are you doing to me? I can't get this out fast enough, right? So one thing that you can do to switch in your routine is take a look at your deodorant or your antiperspirant. You want to switch to something that does not have aluminum in it, okay? So there's a lot of different ones out there, and believe me, this was an area that I was really trying to test because I lived in the state of Florida and I did not want to smell stank. I did not want to smell like I had sweaty pits all the time. So I had tried several different deodorants, and I found many that did not work for me, and I found some that were fantastic for me. Another thing is to find clean lotions and shampoos that don't have parabens and other types of chemicals in them that are harmful. So like sodium lauryl sulfates and other types of harmful chemicals. You may want to try all these out as well. So for me, I tried to switch over my shampoo, and some of the natural shampoos made my hair feel really heavy. I did not like it. It made my hair feel greasy and heavy, and it just wasn't for me. So I had to trial through a lot of them. Some of the ones that I actually like were Elba. That one's really easy. You can get that at Walmart. You can get it at Target. And then, face wash. Elba sells a really nice face wash that you can use too. And Jason's is another brand. And the cool thing is some of these things you can find at TJ Maxx, guys. Like I was at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Ross, and I was able to find a lot of this stuff marked down, and I was so excited. So it's like, if you feel like these organic products are too expensive, check out some of those stores like that. You might be surprised at what you find. Another thing you want to switch over to is try taking a look at switching over to a non-fluoridated toothpaste. So I did this many, many years ago. You can even go basic. My dad, he just brushes with baking soda. That's it. And he has not had a cavity in years, and his dentist said that he has no plaque buildup and he has some of the healthiest teeth he's seen in a really long time. So if you want to go really basic, you can just do the baking soda, but they do sell a lot of different types. Dr. Bronner's has one. Like I said, Jason's has one. Tom's is a good one. You can get that at Walmart. Some of them are flavored with essential oils and that kind of stuff too. So those are some things that you can do with your beauty products. Okay. So number 5, the 5th thing that you want to try that will help cleanse your physical body is the cleaning products that we use, right? So when cleaning products used that are very harmful to the body, but are effective, for cleaning, if we are not utilizing gloves or a mask or anything, those harmful fumes or toxins are leaching into our body. So, I'm a clean freak too. I really like to use some heavy stuff to be able to really get a deep clean, but some things you might just have to take a look at. Do I really need this ammonia-based product, or do I really need this really, really heavy toxic chemical products? So some of the things that are just as easy and effective, which I was very surprised, are white vinegar, lemon juice, and good old baking soda. Borax is a good one, as well as even washing soda for that matter. There are some much more natural things. Dr. Bronner's has a really great soap that you can utilize. You can buy them in large quantities. Look at TJ Maxx for those too, guys. They sell the big Dr. Bronner's 32 ounces at TJ Maxx, which usually I can find them on Amazon for almost $17, $18, and I can get them at TJ Maxx for $10. So you can definitely save some money there. When using those Clorox wipes or anything like that, you definitely want to make sure you're wearing gloves. You don't want that stuff soaking into your hands, into your skin, and then you're like, why do I feel like I have arthritis? Why are my hands hurting? What's going on? Those toxins are leaching into your body. So it's important to make sure that you're always protecting yourself when you are utilizing these harmful toxic products. And there are wipes out there that are super clean. You can even make your own wipes if you're really into that. I was watching a video about people who were doing that, and it was really cool. If you've got time for that, then make your own natural stuff. I love that. I love to do that when I've got time to do it. Sometimes the toxins are more harmful than the germs, guys, right? We're also worried about germs and, getting sick and this and that, but then we're bombarding our bodies with these harmful toxins because we're just using too many chemicals to try to kill these germs. And these germs are what's helping boost our immune system. Another thing that you can switch out is switching from dryer sheets to a more natural alternative, which are wool balls. Dryer sheets have a ton of chemicals in them, and especially when they heat up and they're being leached out into the air, we're breathing those into our lungs. So the wool balls are just natural wool balls. Usually they come in a pack of anywhere from 4 to 8, and you pop those in your dryer, add a little your favorite essential oil on them, and they dry a lot faster. They lower your electric bill, and they make your stuff feel super fluffy. Like your towels will feel fluffier. They last for years. So you're not having to go out and run out and buy dryer sheets. So you've got these balls in there. Okay, they might be a little noisy depending, but if you have a full load in there, it's not that noisy. If you've got just a couple things in there, you might want to pull some of the balls out, maybe put 1 or 2 in there. Another thing we want to take a look at is our antibacterial soaps. And like I said, we're always trying to kill these germs, but the reality is we're taking in a lot more toxins than we are eliminating these germs. So I suffered with obsessive compulsive disorder for many, many, many years until I started learning EFT tapping and the emotion code, and I started to begin to release some of these old programs that I was holding on to. So I was a clean freak, a freakaholic. I worked in a hospital setting. I would come home, I would strip my clothes off, I would take a shower, I'd wash my hair, I'd clean the doorknobs, anything I touched, I'd sage the air. I mean, it was crazy how much work I went to every single day I came home from work because I was worried about having germs on me. So I would utilize all day long these antibacterial products at the hospital. I would use this soap, I would use these wipes, I would use these sanitizers on the wall, not knowing that these things are chock full of very harmful toxins. And I was taking all this stuff in, and then I started to get sick, and I didn't really realize what it was from until I realized what it was from. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing this every single day. Just washing your hands with normal cast iron soap, Dr. Bronner's. There's a lot of different alternatives out there of cast iron soap. I feel like there's something that we're missing. We're trying to use too much of this antibacterial stuff when we should just go back to the basics and use the natural stuff. Another thing that we want to look at is our air quality, all right? So a lot of us, especially now, getting really excited because fall time is coming around. I want to buy some candles. I want to buy some pumpkin spice candles and just really have that beautiful fragrance in my air. But we need to look at what are we burning? What types of candles are we using? Are we using like the paraffin wax wax. That stuff is very highly toxic when it's being burnt. Some safer alternatives are beeswax, coconut oil, and even soy wax. But you want to make sure that the soy wax is non-GMO. There is a very good company out of, I believe they're out of the Pacific Northwest, called Candio Candles, and they have some really clean products there. They have the wax melts, the candles, and a variety of things that you can look into too. So you want to make sure that those things aren't being leached out, you know, into the air, and then you're breathing that in. And if you have pets, it's even really harmful for them. So you want to make sure that if you're burning those candles and they've got essential oils in them, you got to be careful which ones that you're burning around your pets. Any citrusy ones are harmful to cats. You know, lavender is usually a safe one, and frankincense, those are usually pretty safe. Lemongrass is another pretty safe one too. Another good way that you can freshen up your air is through oil diffusers and using those essential oils. And like I said, just, you know, if you have pets, you may want to research a little bit about which ones are safe and which ones aren't for your pets. That's a good natural way to freshen the air. Another way is houseplants, right? Houseplants are excellent because they filter the air, they filter the toxins, they change, you know, that structure in the air to just really, you know, give you that nice clean air, right? That nice sense of peace. And not only that, they look good and they make you feel good. You know, if you have some plants around your house, they really brighten up a space. They can also have that dual action of cleaning the toxins out in the air. Another thing that we want to take a look at is cleaning up our EMF smog, or electromagnetic frequency, or like our Wi-Fi, our Bluetooth, and these are invisible, but they can cause serious disruptions in our energetic field or in our energetic body, which can lead to physical symptoms like fatigue, headaches, and different types of energy imbalances. So if you're sitting all day at work and you're next to a router, or you're, you know, in an office that has a lot of Wi-Fi and you come home feeling completely drained, then it's probably because you are on EMF overload. You've had just too much electromagnetic frequency. So some ways that you can balance that out are maybe purchasing a Himalayan salt lamp. You can maybe put that at your desk or at home. What it does is not only does it purify the air, but it also is pretty too, right? So it switches the ions in the air to have a much more healthy, balanced quality of air. So those are really, really helpful. Also, there are different types of crystals that you can use if you're into that, if you're into the more esoteric, energetic things. Shungite, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, hematite. There are some that are really great. You can buy them in pyramids and chunks and bracelets. I would highly suggest, if you have an Apple Watch or any type of computer type watch, that you buy a bracelet, a shungite bracelet, to help protect your energy. Those watches will soak up your energy like nobody's business. Orgones are fantastic as well. I have all of this stuff on my website under the energetics section. So if you guys have any questions, you can check it out. So orgones actually convert the negative energy into positive energy, and they can be placed near anything. So a router, a computer, they actually come in a necklace, and you can wear it around your neck if you want to, and you can pop them in your pocket. So they come in different types of things like pyramids and pucks and different types of jewelry. So those are things that you'll definitely want to look into. And then if you're spending a lot of time in the office, you just want to make sure that you're doing some grounding. All right, get outside, guys. Get your bare feet on the ground. It will reset your energy really, really quickly, and you'll feel a lot better. You know, nature really is the best healer. So get out there and get your ground on, guys. So a lot of these products, not all of them, but a lot of them I do have listed on my website. I'm an Amazon affiliate. So the products that I have listed on my website are the ones that I have used and that I use regularly and that I know that have worked for me and are good, clean products. So check it out, guys. And so I just really hope that this video was helpful to you on different ways to detox your body and your environment, right? So I look forward to some of your comments below. Are there things that you're doing to help detox? Are there some natural things that you're doing that maybe I didn't mention in this video? Or are there any questions that you may have? I really just look forward to hearing, you know, how you are trying to, you know, claim your clean blueprint, you know, on the earth, and how you're helping to cleanse you, your family, and your pets, and really just making a difference. You deserve to navigate your life in alignment with health, happiness, and abundance. To learn more about the services that I provide, including Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, EFT tapping, and the Emotion Code, visit my website at www.theexistentialempath.com.